Guaranteed fireworks between Jessica Mccaskill and Cecilia Braekhus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing your support, tuning into lives, commenting in the comment sections. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is Renee Box Young, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and just talk about the sport of boxing. Simple as that. Take the hate somewhere else. Y'all know what it is, a community and family here, that's been rocking with me. I really appreciate you so much. I'm just having a ball, just talking the sport of boxing. Love it, I definitely got to take time out, to break this down. This amazing fight, between Jessica Mccaskill and Cecilia Braekhus. Amazing fighters, man, female fighters. I've been saying, since some time ago, and I've been reiterating how women fighters, man, female fighters, they're really bringing the action. They are really bringing the entertainment, amongst, obviously the names out there, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shields, etc., etc. The names go on and on, the list goes on and on. We definitely have to, I've said this recently, I think it was in a live session, how women fighters, female fighters, boxers in this case, in general, UFC, MMA, they definitely deserve more limelight. That's just my humble opinion. Clarissa Shields came out explaining that, as a matter of fact, in a recent Instagram live she had with her promoter, if I remember correctly. I made a video about that and broke that down. Clarissa Shields is definitely right. Female fighters, man, they're bringing the action and entertainment that we crave for, that we desire for, amongst two amazing athletes in the ring, amongst female fighters. They just bring it. These women bring it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm speaking in general, just female fighters. They are awesome. And that's why I'm making this video. And this fight, ladies and gentlemen, if you check the trajectory out of these two amazing fighters, Cecilia Braekhus, sorry if I mispronounced names. I'm bad with names in general, so sorry about that. If I mispronounce Braekhus' last name, but she has approximately, just so you guys get an idea, she's been a reigning welterweight champ, undisputed for years. You go to her record, man, and if you've seen any of her fights, she's more of a technical fighter, very smart in the ring. And man, I think she's like 36-1. Her only loss was her, first fight against Jessica Mccaskill months ago. I don't remember what the date was when they fought, but that was just an amazing fight, ladies and gentlemen. Cecilia Braekhus, defended her title defense. She defended her titles for like 20 some odd fights. That's hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. That's hardcore. That's what I'm saying. You see, and I'm just talking about Cecilia right now. We're gonna get to Jessica all day, man. I just love these women, female fighters. They're amazing, amazing. You gotta go back and watch that first fight between, Cecilia and Jessica, man. Fireworks, And as I said, Cecilia is more of a, Braekhus is more of a technical fighter. Uses her jab, uses her distance and reach, to her advantage. Quite smart in the ring, and that's what she brings. Approximately, I repeat, I don't even remember the number, man. More than 20 title defenses. Wow. What else can I say? In the welterweight division, and Jessica Mccaskill, man, she was a champ, I think, in the super lightweight division and lightweight division. Okay. And then she moved up. Her first fight moving up to the welterweight division, ladies and gentlemen, concerning Jessica, was against Cecilia. Can you believe that? For the undisputed welterweight championship of the world, man. And Jessica, ever since this fight was announced, let me go back a little bit. Ever since this first fight was announced between these two warriors, I remember, and I didn't comment in the Twitter, or anything like that, when I remember the social media promotion coming out between these two fighters in the first fight. I was gonna say, you know what, I'm going for Jessica. I think Jessica's gonna beat, she's gonna take it. You can just see it in her eyes, man. I remember the lead up, the lead up to the fight. I just saw it in her eyes that she was gonna take the fight. She was gonna win. And when you go back to that fight, she Jessica is more like those inside fighters. Kind of reminds me of a Porter. Kind of reminds me of a Derevchenko. She just brings it, and she takes any opportunity she can. Any opening she sees, she's gonna throw punches there. Any opening, any angle, she just applies so much pressure. Just think of a Porter and a Derevchenko. She applies the pressure. She keeps going forward. Any angle she sees, every opportunity she sees her opponent gasping for air, boss, she's just gonna go for it. She's just gonna go for it, man. So much heart these two warriors have, but I'm focusing on Jessica right now. And like I said, in the buildup of the first fight, I just saw it in her eyes, man. I was thinking, you know what, Jessica's gonna take this. She's gonna take them titles. She's gonna win the fight. And another thing about Jessica, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and why am I doing this? It's because we have to give more emphasis on these female fighters. And female fighters in general. I gave a post-fight reaction some time ago on another fight. I think it was in the UK between two amazing warriors. I think it was Katie Taylor and another fighter. I just don't recall the names. Speaking of Katie Taylor, Jessica fought Katie Taylor, some time ago. I don't remember which division. I think it was in the super lightweight or lightweight division. And, she lost. Now that's another thing. Just real quick, there are so many things to say here. Jessica has a 9-2 record. You see, that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. She has nine wins, 2 losses, compared to Cecilia, who has approximately 30 some odd wins. I just don't remember exactly the figures in my head, but 1 loss only. So it's just an amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen, how Jessica, okay, she was in the super lightweight division, champ in the lightweight and super lightweight, if I'm not mistaken, and moved up to welterweight. Her first welterweight fight was against Cecilia. You know what I mean? And wow, it's just amazing. So she goes in and she applies the pressure and fights with all her heart. So does Cecilia. But these are the styles here. Okay? These are the styles. So she won. Okay, she beat Cecilia. I don't remember the scorecards, but she won. I think there are some people that came out shortly afterwards saying, "Oh, was it a robbery?" And I don't think so. I think that Jessica won fair and square. She definitely won fair and square, and she had a problem. Getting back to what I was saying when she fought Katie Taylor, she had a problem with that boxing style, that more technical style. Katie Taylor. The thing here is that Jessica, she throws a lot of overhand rights, and she was really catching Cecilia a lot with those overhand rights when they fought. And with Katie Taylor, when she was throwing those overhand rights, Katie Taylor was reading those, she was reading them, and she was using amazing defense, jabbing to stop Cecilia when she would try to approach, using that boxing, using that technical style. And it seemed like when Jessica and Cecilia fought, their first fight, it seems like Braekhus, Cecilia Braekhus couldn't figure it out, couldn't, use that boxing style, that technical style that she has to stop, Braekhus in her executions, in her inside, game, and her applying pressure, etc., etc. And she was throwing a lot of overhand rights and really catching Cecilia. I'm surprised Cecilia didn't go down, man. So this is a must-watch fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be definite fireworks in the rematch. This is a rematch, and I just don't know who's going to win in this rematch. Cecilia just posted recently, and social media, she's running Big Bear, she's jogging in Big Bear, training. Both of these fighters are training. Obviously Mccaskill's training too. And, getting back to Mccaskill real quick, I was going to mention that she has a very touching backstory, whatever you call it, right? She has a really touching story where she was in poverty. She lived homeless, when she was younger. And it's a really touching story. And when she won, okay, I just want to explain all this so you can understand the impact of the magnitude of these fighters and, where they're coming from and, their trajectory to a certain extent, generally speaking. When she beat, Braekhus in the first fight, and won those titles, undisputed welterweight champ. You know what I mean? She kind of started crying a little bit, in the post-fight, interview. And she said, her coach, if I'm not mistaken, she said that, her coach told her, fight for that girl who was homeless. Fight for that girl, And that was really touching. I mean, that really, really, when I saw that, I was like, man, wow. That, fighters, you see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Fighters, whether male or female, sometimes they fight for a lot more. Caleb Plant, that just came to mind right now. Caleb Plant. There are a lot of fighters out. Deontay Wilder, his daughter, y'all know the story there. So I'm not, Luis Ortiz, another heavyweight right there. King Kong Ortiz, his daughter also, both suffering from some kind of ailments, serious ailments, illnesses. Ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about this, going back to Caleb Plant, his daughter, passed away. Rest in peace to the angel. You know what I'm saying? His mom, if I remember correctly, also passed away after. I don't remember the time span between his mother passing away, rest in peace, and to his daughter passing away. Just such difficult. And these fighters fight for a lot more in that ring. You know what I'm saying? They fight for a lot more in that ring. And I understand, I made a video recently about, Caleb Plant's performance. I was just focusing on his performance against Truex. And, I'm just being honest. But generally speaking, some of these fighters just fight for a lot more. They're not just coming in for a simple paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And, Jessica, just such a touching story, her background, her backstory, so this all serves, ladies and gentlemen, these elements that I'm speaking about, these aspects I'm speaking about, these fighters really make for just amazing fights, and you can tell in their heart, you see it in their heart, you see it in their, in their actions, you see it in their eyes when they come in and fight. Cecilia also, Cecilia, when you see her fight, you can see it in her eyes, she's coming to fight, ladies and gentlemen. Jessica, she's coming to fight. Go back and watch the first fight if you didn't see it. Just fireworks. And this rematch, ladies and gentlemen, is going to serve for fireworks. Now, I'm assuming, okay, I'm seeing this. I know I'm doing a breakdown quite early, and I'll probably go on live, if I'm not mistaken, it's scheduled for March 13th. Chocolatito also is the main event of this card, ladies and gentlemen. This is an amazing card. And I said this time ago recently in a live, I don't remember which live it was, but, I've been pushing this, that these lower divisions, and these fighters that are not put on the pedestal like they should be, or, the limelight, whatever you want to call it, they need to be. Chocolatito Estrada rematch, main event. That's an amazing match, ladies and gentlemen. Cecilia, Jessica Mccaskill versus Cecilia Braekhus, this should be in the limelight, man. This is an amazing card. Amazing fights. And they definitely deserve the limelight. You know what I'm saying? The boxing community, we should pay more attention to these fights. I'm trying to do that, and I want to do more of it, and I've been doing it. Paying attention to these fighters who are not getting necessarily the limelight that they should get. And I think that's unfair. You see what I'm saying? I think that's unfair, and I think that we should push these fights more. We should, promote these fights more on our platforms. You see what I'm saying? Because I think that media, or whatever you want to call it, boxing community, is putting a little bit too much emphasis on a lot of nonsense that's going on out there in the sport of boxing. A lot of gossip, a lot of nonsense, pie in the sky things that aren't happening. Oh, so-and-so, you put the name on whoever fighter you want when I'm generalizing this. I'm not pointing fingers, you know what I'm saying? But so-and-so is going to do this, and with the media, with a influencer, and then maybe it'll happen. Maybe it's an exhibition. Whatever the heck talk is going out there. You already know what I'm talking about. All due respect to the fighters. I got nothing to take away from any fighter. But, my emphasis on this is that we should put less emphasis on that. Less, limelight on those unimportant, when it comes to genuineness in the sport of boxing, whole respect, concerning the sport of boxing, putting the real respect on the sport of boxing where it matters. That, you see what I'm saying? Where it matters. All this other gossip, pie in the sky stuff doesn't really matter too much. It's just fluff. It's like cotton candy. You eat cotton candy, it looks amazing, it looks big, it looks, really like it's gonna fill you up. but you eat the whole freaking cotton candy cloud, whatever you want to call it, and you're not even, you didn't even, it was just a 3-second satisfaction thing in your mouth that melts in your mouth in 5 seconds and it's gone. You don't even feel that you swallow that thing. You see what I'm saying? You don't even feel that there's some substance in what you're eating. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Just kind of speaking metaphorically, however you want to call it. You see, and this, ladies and gentlemen, Jessica, Mccaskill, Cecilia Braekhus, this is substance, ladies and gentlemen. This is really real boxing, what we want to see. Entertainment, action, fireworks, warriors in the ring, giving it their all. This is what, the golden era of boxing was. You see? How much more emphasis do these fighters deserve, ladies and gentlemen? How much more limelight do these fighters deserve, ladies and gentlemen? In women boxing and in general. You see, this is important. I take this much further. I'm not just talking, it's just another video of boxing. No, I don't do that in my videos. Generally speaking, I try not to. Sometimes, of course, I do speak of news here and there, but things that are maybe light, fluff news, but I don't emphasize it too much. I emphasize more realness, ladies and gentlemen. And Mccaskill and Braekhus are realness. And all these other, female fighters in boxing. You see what I'm saying? True warriors. And this is what we crave for as boxing fans, real box community. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say share, thank you for sharing. Thank you. I don't just say it just for, because everybody does it. Share this, ladies and gentlemen, because these warriors here, they deserve it. They deserve it. And like I said, I'm doing newness in this platform, ladies and gentlemen. Take the hate somewhere else. Take that somewhere else where they have fun doing that. That's fine. That's fine. To each his own, to each her own, as I've said before and as I have been saying. This platform, man, I got to push what matters, and we're doing new things here. And this is new things here, man. This is where, we're pushing fighters that deserve it. Pushing matchups that deserve. There are so many fights out there. Potential fights or fights, that are official that deserve to be pushed a lot more. And I have been doing it, and some platforms are doing it out there too. And credit to them all day. But more platforms have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. And I reiterate, this is just going to be an amazing fight. This is going to serve for an amazing rematch between Mccaskill and Braekhus. What more can we ask for in the sport of boxing? Now, there have been, talks. Clarissa Shields shouts the GWOAT, you know what I'm saying? She has talked some time ago, if I'm not mistaken, pushing for there should be 3-minute rounds in women's boxing. I'm not sure, it can be, but these girls, these young ladies, these young champions, warriors, man, they give it their all in those 2 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. We're not seeing that too much in men's boxing. I got to be straight up and 100, and y'all know me, I'm 100 in all this. And everything I say, I try to be as neutral and as mature and, honest opinion and analysis and criticism as possible, in a mature fashion. Sometimes in men's boxing, you even hear commentators say it. Oh yeah, women need, 3 rounds so it can be a little bit more, decisive when it comes to rounds and who's winning the rounds. But look at men's boxing, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of these fighters, let's be real, ladies and gentlemen, come on. A lot of these fighters are doing just enough to win the round. And that's 3-minute rounds. Come on, guys, we've got to be real about this. I just posted a video talking about that. Doing just enough is not enough. These women fighters, female fighters, are giving it 100 from the first second to the last second of those 2 rounds. You see? So 3 rounds, I understand. I'm not hating on that. Of course not. I'm not, but it kind of makes me think, if they do that, do you think they're really gonna, give it their all in the 3 minutes? It kind of makes you think there. Maybe yes, maybe no. And if they do consider sanctioned bodies, whatever the heck, right? If they do consider doing this, extending women rounds, female fighting, boxing to 3 minutes, maybe they can reduce the rounds to 10 rounds. You see what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. That's debate, subjective, whatever you want to call it, right? So, man, share this, ladies and gentlemen. These warriors deserve the limelight. These warriors here, Mccaskill, Braekhus, they deserve the limelight, ladies and gentlemen. And we have to see this fight. If you're a true boxing fan and just love the sport of boxing, you got to see this matchup. You got to see this. It's a rematch. And something, I kind of incline more, but it just depends, okay? I kind of incline more to Mccaskill taking this rematch. I incline more to her taking the rematch. But the question here, ladies and gentlemen, is now, okay, there's something I got to point this out, okay? I know it's debatable. I know it's, that whole old phrase, I guess we can say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, whatever you want to call it, right? Women's, it seems like they mature quicker, okay? Women, you can just see it back in elementary school, what have you. Sometimes, girls, they mature more and faster. I don't know if it's clinically proven, whatever you want to call it. From what I know, women mature quicker than men, okay? Or girls mature quicker than boys, whatever you want to say, okay? However you want to put it. Why do I say this? Because we see it time and time again in male boxing, okay? In male boxing, that fighters get belts, they become complacent, they lose the hunger. And they go out partying and living the wild life as boys, okay? As boys again. You see it time and time again, ladies and gentlemen, in male boxing, okay? Let's be real here. You don't really hear it much amongst female fighters. I haven't seen it much at all. Why do I say this? Because the question in my mind is that's the slight doubt I might have. That ever since, Mccaskill, undisputed champ, welterweight division, ever since she got those belts, did she become complacent? Did she, did she slow down in her discipline? That's yet to be proven in the ring in this rematch, ladies and gentlemen. Come March 13th, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's on March 13th, this rematch. So, you see what I'm saying? Does she still have the same hunger? Now, that's the question that lingers in my mind. Is Cecilia Braekhus, because now another thing I got to point out here, ladies and gentlemen, on the post-fight, interview with Cecilia, she was asked, "Are you going to retire? What are you going to do?" And she was like, she couldn't really give a clear answer. She was like, "You know what? I'm not going to," or something along the lines. She was asked about rematching or something. She said, "You know what? I don't want to talk about that right now." And so some people were contemplating her retiring, possibly. The community. So that's the question in my mind. Is Cecilia going to come a lot more hungry now? Did she become, to a certain extent, complacent with so many years of defending her undisputed status? You see what I mean? There are several invariables here that we gotta understand here and analyze. Did Cecilia become complacent with all those years of being undisputed champ? I mean, that's an amazing accolades with Cecilia, ladies and gentlemen. She's a legend. She is a legend. Oh my gosh, Cecilia is a legend, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, this is amazing. So is Cecilia coming back in this rematch with that hunger? 10 times more. If so, she might win. I mean, there are things that that are yet to be proven in the rematch. When we see on fight night, when we see in the face-offs, when we see in the press conferences, blah, blah, blah. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, in the buildup of this rematch. Did Mccaskill lose the hunger? Is she a little bit more complacent now that she got the belts? I'm not so sure because, like I said, going back to what I was saying, women are usually more mature. Maybe I can even say when it comes to athletes, women athletes, they're more mature and more disciplined. Because I reiterate, you don't see that in women's boxing. They get the titles and they're going out partying, living a wild life. You don't see that with women, ladies and gentlemen. Correct me if I'm wrong, or go ahead and put in the comment section if it's otherwise, if you've seen otherwise. But I haven't. You never really hear that amongst women, ladies and gentlemen, with female fighters and boxing in particular. I've never heard of a female fighter going out living like Adrian Broner has throughout the years. I'm not saying now, okay, it has throughout the years, present perfect, okay, whatever, present perfect tense, okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear of women, female fighters, boxers, getting titles and going out living as Tank Davis has throughout the years, as Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has throughout the years. The list goes on and on with undisciplined male fighters, and just living the crazy wild life. You don't hear that amongst female fighters, and I think a lot has to do with it because of their maturity level. Now, shouts out to the ladies, man. I mean, I appreciate and I admire ladies, you know what I'm saying, in that aspect that, you know, that they're very mature, and I admire that. I grow from everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and I really grow when I see these women, you know, these female fighters and boxers, how they project themselves, how they speak, how they articulate their words, and just that maturity. I love it. I love that of women, you know, that the maturity. I just love it, and I grow from that. You know, I try to do that myself. No, don't misinterpret and twist what I'm saying. Oh, you're trying to be like a woman. Yeah, just go somewhere else with that. This is the mature platform, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? We're doing new things, I reiterate, in Renee Boxyoung, man. We're speaking realness. We're speaking in a mature fashion. And I dig that in women. You know what I'm saying? I dig that. So, man, ladies and gentlemen, share this. I reiterate one more time. These warriors, for this rematch and for the first fight, and in their careers, they deserve the limelight. Who do you think is going to win? Comment in the comment section, please. Who do you think is going to win? I reiterate, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I kind of got it 50-50, but I think that in the rematch, Cecilia is going to box more. She's going to use, you know, the loss and that experience in the first match against Mccaskill. She's going to use more boxing, more jab, not staying in harm's way as she did in the first fight against Mccaskill. On the contrary, is Mccaskill going to box more? Or is she going to use the jab more? Because she was just swinging and just giving that pressure. And to her advantage. I mean, but she has to be careful. Mccaskill has to be careful with the boxer and Miss Cecilia. You know what I'm saying? And man, it's gonna be awesome. I just cannot wait. You see, and to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, it just depends on your perspective. You know, I'm not saying boxing's dead. I'm not complaining about boxing. I'm enjoying the ride. I've been saying it since last year. Ever since, you know, boxing was back, quote unquote, from the quarantine, I said I'm optimistic. We're gonna see some great fights, and it started going on. I've been saying this since last year, ladies and gentlemen, and we're seeing it. We're seeing great fights because it depends on your perspective. Are you gonna focus more on the fluff, pie in the sky, empty stuff out there that's going on? I'm not. You see what I'm saying? It just depends where your focus is, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing. So share, like, subscribe. Renee Boxyoung, thanks so much for tuning in, man. Comment in the comment section who you think is going to win. This is amazing. Shouts out to these amazing warriors. Love them. Renee Boxyoung, peace out. Stay safe.